everyone, this is Cinephile Studios, and today I have a Patreon request from Ryan. He had the clever idea for me to review every single film in the Sony Animation catalog. Yeah, it's a good idea. I haven't seen everything Sony Animation has done, so I think it's going to be a fun little venture. So every month it looks like I'll be reviewing one of the films. The only problem is, the first one I have to start with is this film from 2006, Open Season. This was the first Sony Animation film, and I haven't seen it in 10 years. All I really remember about it was really bad. So if you want to be like Ryan, you can support me on Patreon and request me to review even more products like this if you want to find different ways to torture me. Yeah, I haven't seen the movie in 10 years. All I really remember about it was the ads that came out when it was being released. They showed so many TV ads, and I still have memories in my head of Ashton Kutcher's voice and that porcupine flying at the screen yelling, "It's open season." This was during a time when there were so many computer animated films coming out. It seemed like people would go see anything if it was computer animated. I don't know what it was, but it was killing 2D animation for some reason. It's a really strange trend that happened. It was a strange time because while we still got masterpieces from the likes of Pixar and DreamWorks, we were also getting really strange carbon copies like Dougal or Happily Never After or, well, this right here, Open Season. I got the movie on DVD for some reason, and even as a kid I was struggling to get through it, but I still pushed through because that's just what you did back then. You watched films for entertainment, and you didn't really question why they were bad. I don't know what it was. I just kept watching it, even though subconsciously I knew it was a bad movie. Well, maybe the reason I pushed through was because there was something there that I didn't think I'd understand until an older age. Well, it's been 10 years. I haven't seen the film since, so maybe there's something there that wasn't there before. So let's pop this in. Let's see what happens. Well, right from the beginning, the memories of this tragic film come to my mind. For starters, the animation. It's horrendous. It's very outdated, which is a strange epidemic for these computer animated films. They can fall victim to outdated effects, unlike 2D animation. I guess for the time it wasn't the worst, but it still fell short when compared to Cars or Happy Feet, which were released the same year, but for the most part, I can't complain too much. It was still a developing art form, yet the character designs are pretty horrendous to look at. It's just ugly cinema.
I'm warning you, I got 10 claws, and I ain't afraid to use them.
The story is still boring to this day. I feel that I've seen this type of film elsewhere in the past. A fish out of water tale while also having a buddy comedy feel. I suppose that's one of the major problems with the story. It just has no focus. It's failing at trying to be generic, which is a strange achievement I didn't think could exist. It tries so many different storytelling devices that it never really takes time to flesh one out. It gets lost in the madness, and meanwhile, it never takes a moment to breathe. Every second there's another small character being introduced or some gag being thrown at you, and in other movies, all this would get a pass if the movie was actually funny, but it's not. There's tired dialogue and useless delivery. I heard that the actors attempted a lot of improv, and it shows because it's bad improv. Even then, they never take advantage of any sight gags. There was only one time I could think of where I actually laughed, and it was when they were doing that stupid thing that was made popular in Austin Powers where the audience is seeing something different than what's actually going on, and they start doing some really graphic stuff. I think that was great, but that also reveals another problem, which is the unfunny adult jokes. Adult jokes are hard to pull off in any kid's film, and if you do them wrong, it becomes really awkward and out of place, which a majority of them did in this flick.
Good, because we'll need your nuts.
And your acorns too!
The actors are miscast. I feel bad because the director did a great process where he simply heard the voices before learning the names in order to find a pure voice for their characters. But for me, I don't think they fit at all. I don't know too much about Martin Lawrence, but he seems like the wrong choice for a character like Boog. But then again, the character itself is so boring that I can't decide if any actor could do anything with the material. I do like Ashton Kutcher, but here he just isn't funny or characterized.
All right, now go back and I'll give her the face. The face.
The other so-called colorful characters are useless stereotypes, but even with stereotypes you can make at least simple jokes, but they don't even do that. It's plain lazy, and they're all annoying, and they keep trying to make a thing out of each of them, and it fails miserably, like a forced meme.
What do you got?
Wood. What do you got?
Wood.
I guess the only character I found at all interesting was a redneck hunter. He himself wasn't funny, but the fact that he treated his gun like a real person or girlfriend, well, that was at least trying to do something funny. He was voiced by Gary Sinise, who's almost unrecognizable in the role, but this character could have been the equivalent of the principal from Ferris Bueller, or Donald Duck with his nephews in those old Disney cartoons. Instead, he's just kind of there.
I didn't realize I was talking to a couple of whack jobs.
Even the score is terrible. Yeah, I usually can't think of a movie that has a terrible score, but the damn harmonica and banjo, maybe it fits with the country feel, but I thought it was grating to the ears. It was the cherry on top of this completely annoying experience.
I come in peace.
I can't believe I have to say this, but this is just a forgettable, terrible movie from beginning to end. Everything about the production is bad, which is... I really hate giving an animated film a negative review because I know tons of work and dedication goes into the animation process, and I really do believe people put in lots of time to make this movie, but it even compares favorably to other films released at the time. However, it's still just so hard to watch, and it's so forgettable every time I watch it. And none of the jokes are funny, and any attempt at humor is either confusing or just doesn't work out. It's a terrible experience. It is annoying from beginning to end, and I really hope this is the last time I have to watch it. Yeah, I own the 2-pack, but look, there's Surf's Up, which is another Sony animation film that I remember liking a lot, so yeah, that's the reason I actually own this. Yeah, I'm done with open season now. Except there's one problem. There's 3 sequels. 3! Thanks for watching the video. A special thanks to Ryan for supporting me on Patreon. If you'd like to join him and get early access to certain videos and have your name stamped on the end of videos and even request reviews monthly, then please click on the Patreon link, and thanks for the support.
All right. Yeah. There it is.
Boom!
Let's go.
Party's over, let's go!